Everyone, I am Yoon, CEO of Atomy. Alas, the Make Imperial show has launched. I warmly welcome all Atomy family members who are here with us today. It's already April, and a third of 2025 has passed. This is also a good time to check whether you are properly carrying out the goals you set for yourself. I imagine that many of you here have set your primary goal as achieving success in the Atomy business. Now, whether things are progressing as planned, some of you may be finding it smooth, while others may be facing difficulties. Given the nature of our business, I think meeting people is probably the most challenging part. In particular, figuring out how to overcome rejection every time you meet someone that seems to be the hardest part. For example, if you ask someone, do you want to do the Atomy business? And that person immediately joins. Or if 8 or 9 out of 10 people you talk to agree to join, then our business would probably be a lot of fun. But in reality, that's not how it is. Most people say no, they don't want to do it. Or they might even say, don't ever contact me again. Because of things like this, you probably experience a lot of stress and find it very difficult. Even if you do bring someone in as a business partner, that person will keep complaining to you. They'll talk about their struggles, their difficulties, their frustrations, and ask you for help. And they'll keep voicing various complaints and grievances. We often feel like we've become an emotional trash can for them. Listening to these complaints and feeling like an emotional trash can is not an easy thing to do. There are people who complain and people who do well, but we have to bring all these people together and manage the organization. So we have the relationship between the sponsor and the partner. And in this relationship, the sponsor has to play the role of a leader, while each partner has different expectations from the sponsor. Managing the entire organization like this is one of the challenging aspects of our business. Overcoming rejection, listening to complaints, and managing the organization are, in a way, external tasks. But there are also things we need to do internally. Due to the nature of our business, we have to practice continuous self-management. We also need to work on image making. We have to study the products, and we also need to continually motivate and inspire people. Wouldn't it be so much fun if all of this went smoothly? But in reality, that's not really the case. I know that very well. I've experienced it a lot myself. So even though these difficulties keep repeating within us, there are achievements and successes that bring us joy. And because of those, we are able to get back up each time and keep moving forward. Now, in order to succeed in our business, you need to thoroughly understand the essence of our business. The essence is that it is a place where people gather. In other words, our business is about people, not about products or things. So people have to come together somehow, and each of these people within their own lives needs to participate in the Atomy business in some way. I will use Atomy products. I will try doing the Atomy business. I will bring in other partners. This kind of participation is necessary. Everyone who participates becomes a part of this life. They start to spend some of their 24 hours on things related to Atomy. They use some of their financial resources for the Atomy business. They have their own physical strength, and they use a part of that strength for our business. That's why we say it becomes a part of their life. In this way, as Atomy becomes a part of my life and I achieve results, gain rewards, and continue to succeed, I find it fun and enjoyable, and I gradually become more deeply involved in our business. Since people gather together, we are always dealing with people. As a result, when you achieve something, you rise to the position of a leader, and those who become leaders must fulfill the role of a leader. When that happens, personal change and growth inevitably follow. Those who become leaders must, of course, have leadership skills. They also need to have knowledge about the products. They need to have knowledge about people as well. And they must have the ability to see the world with a broad perspective. Oh, and most of all, you will be able to see my personality changing little by little. You used to feel anxious, but now you feel less anxious. You may have lacked confidence in living your life before, but now you become filled with confidence which changes and growth continue to happen within us. If you can lead them to the point of change and growth, our business will become not just a part of their life, but their whole life. Then the relationship between sponsor and partner becomes very solid, and together you build a strong community. Now, shall we review what we've covered? People need to come together. Each person must participate by investing their time, energy, and various efforts from their own lives. Those who participate become a part of it, and those who become a part of it experience achievement and success. Those who succeed undergo transformation, and as change happens, they come to love Atomy. Then it becomes everything to them. All of this happens within the community. So in order to keep working hard at our business, you must always remember people and remember the community. That's why, to achieve what we dream of, you need to understand the true nature, the essence of our business. And as you manage yourself and those around you, taking one step at a time, one day you'll see that everyone here will have become an Imperial. It will be done. If you want to become an Imperial Master, you just need to make your immediate partner an Imperial. Just think about it. If the person on your right is an Imperial and the person on your left is an Imperial, then under each of them, there will be at least 4 crowns, right? Then you automatically become an Imperial. So in a way, our business is like, rather than thinking, I want to become an Imperial, I want to become an Imperial, it's better to tell your immediate right partner, you become an Imperial. You become an Imperial first. And to your left partner, you become an Imperial first. By telling both sides, you become an Imperial first. And when both sides become Imperials, I automatically become an Imperial as well. This is the essence of our business. This is what make Imperial truly means. So dreaming, taking action, and striving to achieve this is what our business is all about. And that's why our business is filled with countless inspirations. It has its own philosophy. It has value. It's not like other jobs where you just work hard, make money, spend what you earn, and feel a sense of security from your income. They are dreams within our business. And we take action to achieve those dreams. And realizing those dreams, that challenge we take on that is exactly what our business is about. So how can I help my sponsors or my partners become Imperials? Honestly, as you might find out if you ask your seniors, this process is not easy. So let me share with you a way to make our business much easier. If you take a look, for example, at people who play table tennis, soccer, or any kind of sport like golf, you'll notice that they focus on their own posture. But once you become an expert, a master, or a professional, you no longer focus on your own posture. Instead, you start thinking about how to send the ball to the right, how to send it to the left, or how to send it downward. So what happened to the posture? All that time spent studying and training for good posture, correct posture, and the most efficient posture, where did that go? That becomes automated in our brain. In terms of memory, we sometimes call that an engram. In other words, what is created is called plasticity. In other words, once an automatic circuit is formed in our brain, things become easier. That's how our brain works. Because of this thing called plasticity, the neural circuits in our brain are formed depending on the direction we guide it. Plasticity means that if you imagine all the brain cells, they connect with each other to form a single circuit. So how much effort does it take for this plasticity to develop? From a neuroscience perspective, it usually takes about 6 months. For example, when our newly joined partners start to take some interest in the Atomy business, it typically takes about 6 months for those circuits to begin forming. So you need to keep repeating things for at least 6 months. Is 6 months enough? That's not the case, because it needs to become very well established. So 6 months is just when it starts to form. And it's said that it takes about a year for the foundation to be laid. So when we usually do this kind of work, we should ask ourselves what we are lacking. If we think about that, we're going to work on the brain's plasticity. And in terms of what we lack due to age, it's good to have the mindset that you'll try it for about a year. By utilizing the plasticity of brain neurons, we create Atomy circuits, then create another and another, so that we can become truly remarkable people. That is what Make Imperial is. And it's the essence of our business. But now, here's the problem. This neuroplasticity in the brain doesn't work well when you're tired. Imagine trying to learn golf when you're in a fatigue state. Imagine trying to learn table tennis when you're tired. You probably won't remember much, and it will be very difficult. That's why when you're fatigued, this neuroplasticity doesn't work well, and the Atomy circuits aren't formed properly. One of the biggest causes of our fatigue is something called the default mode network, or DMN. That's a situation where you can't do anything at all. You have to do this and that, and then something else as well. When all these things come at you at once, you start thinking, what should I do? What should I do? What should I do? That kind of situation, it's said that having to handle multiple things at the same time is the most exhausting. That's because the brain goes into its default mode. It's because you end up in a situation where you don't know what to do. To make this less exhausting, you need to set priorities, come up with a strategy, and plan things out then. It's less tiring. But if you just get scared, anxious, and overwhelmed, it becomes extremely exhausting. So what should you do about this fatigue? Here's a solution. Just take Atomy Hemohim, because our Hemohim is effective for both immunity and fatigue. It's a product that has been proven by the Korean Ministry of Food and Drug Safety to be beneficial. So in our business, we can't completely get rid of this fatigue. We can't avoid meeting people. We can't prevent multiple tasks from coming in at once. And we can't stop situations from arising that are beyond our control. In those situations, the way to overcome fatigue and work well is to take Hemohim as you go. We once conducted a survey of over 30 people in Korea. Here's an interesting fact. Those who took just one packet a day experienced less than half the effect. But those who took 2 or more packets a day were able to get the results we were looking for. I personally make sure to take at least 2 packets of Hemohim every day. How do I think of Hemohim? I consider it as food, like a meal. In the West, maybe you'd call it bread, just one of the staple foods. That's why I think of taking 2 packets of Hemohim every day as part of my daily routine. So by consistently taking Hemohim like this to manage fatigue, inflammation, and immunity, I believe we'll be able to continue running our business in a healthy and energetic way. Now, I hope that all of us will take at least 2 packets of Hemohim every day until the person on your right becomes an Imperial. And until the person on your left becomes an Imperial, so that we can all live each day to the fullest as outstanding business people. Thank you.